Ain't gonna lie, man. I'm not a summer person, man. I ain't gonna even lie. It's just too hot for me. Like this heat don't even make no sense, man. It's so uncomfortable, especially when you have my job. Like driving to work in the heat and then being in the heat is ridiculous. Though, but that's not what I'm talking about. No, when I hop on YouTube, I want to give my opinion, my expert opinion. Because guess what? I done drove around a lot. And I'm not a fast driver, but I do speed every now and then, you know what I'm saying? Because I got a fast car. You know what I'm saying? But I'm on here, I want to speak on Shedeur. You know what I'm saying? I did a video about Shedeur, about him killing mini camp the other day. And I always do videos about Shedeur because I like Shedeur. A lot of my videos going to be about LeBron, Shedeur, people like that I admire, you know what I'm saying, and look up to. Like MJ, you can't really do too many videos on Michael Jordan because he don't really do too much for you to even do a video on. You have to go back and do old Michael Jordan topics and stuff like that. But he's finna be a correspondent on ESPN. Is it ESPN on one of these shows where he's gonna be speaking about basketball? So that's gonna be pretty cool. But back to Shedeur. Me always giving him his praises, you know what I'm saying, and talking about where he should have been drafted at and what they did to him and how they did him wrong and all that. At the end of the day, Shedeur have to make smart decisions too, you know what I'm saying? And he got pulled over for a speeding ticket. He was going 101, and I think it was like a 60, where the speed limit was 60 in Ohio. You know what I'm saying? That's where he at, because you know Cleveland, Ohio. But he got pulled over for speeding, and he was doing 101. And you know what I'm saying? I understand. I didn't got in my car and speeded out, feeling good, in a good vibe. He probably got a new car. They say he was in a truck. I don't know if it was a new truck. He's a young guy, late night, nobody on the road. He probably just mashing the gas, getting down the highway, just testing out his car. I know we all done did it. We all done been caught speeding and been given tickets, and some of us done been speeding crazy and got away with it. You know, haven't been pulled over or anything. You know, he's a young guy, you know what I'm saying? He having fun, he getting money, he's out here enjoying his life, and he probably he mashed that pedal when he was getting to it. But the thing about it is, he's the wrong person to be making that decision right now. How everybody's on his back, how everybody's on his neck, how everybody's bringing up he went in the 5th round. Is he even going to make the team? Is the Browns going to cut him and everything? Is he going to be the starting quarterback, which he should have been drafted? If he was drafted to the Browns in the 1st round like he supposed to have been drafted, he probably would have been a week 1 early starter, franchise quarterback, what I thought he was, and what I still think he's going to prove, that he's a franchise #1, week 1 franchise quarterback. But with that being said, you know, he was drafted in the 5th round, like I say. And if you're drafted right there, man, you got to be mistake-free. You can't give these dudes the opportunity to throw something else in your back. Like, he never been in no trouble, you know what I'm saying? And when he got pulled over, he wasn't drinking or anything, you know what I'm saying? Which is speed. And we all speed, you know what I'm saying? But when you're this quarterback and you're really the main focal point of the team, you're the general, you're the captain, you're on the front line, you got to get the troops ready, you got to get your team ready, you got to know everybody plays before they know their own play, you know what I'm saying? And for that, and to have that responsibility, you can't put yourself out there on the big screen like that where they waiting to say anything about you, man. You got to stay squeaky clean. You know, how you're being critiqued or how you're being looked at, you just add fuel to the flame, you know what I'm saying? Now they got something else to say. Now it's gonna be like, I didn't watch First Take, Colin Cowherd, you know, I didn't watch Speak, I didn't watch all these shows this morning. That's what they're talking about. Anybody else that would have been pulled over and got a speeding citation for 101, you wouldn't even be hearing about it. But the Nash Shedeur, you're gonna be on the big screen, man. So you got to be way smarter than that, and you got to think about the opportunity they're already trying to cheat you out of, and you got to think about it. You got to be smarter and stay quick and stay squeaky clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make no mistakes. Don't do anything where they have something to say about you, because everything you do, they're gonna hold against you. They're gonna hold you to a different level to anybody else. And I think it's a big deal, you know, as far as if he could have hurt anybody, if he would have been intoxicated. I think it's just a big deal because you don't want to be doing that, because you got too much to too much to lose. You know what I'm saying? You can get your driver, man, ride out, and I know the feeling of getting behind your wheel and speeding out and want to fly around and do your thing. So I understand, but in the situation you in, man, you have to be a little smarter, because they looking for anything to tear you down or take something from you, and point at it like even when I watched Colin Cowherd this morning, he was talking about he's off you on a speeding ticket. Like, he started bringing you up in the same vein as Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, like the stuff you was doing. Like, and I'm like, he was talking about little things you did in college that people was speaking on. I'm like, what did he do? I don't remember nothing he did in college that would raise an eyebrow, like, to be like, hey, like, he was squeaky clean. Came out, dropped in the draft, because they try to, you know, they can make all these narratives about you and tear you down. But I'm speaking on Shedeur need to be more responsible. He need to hold himself accountable and not give these dudes fuel to throw on the fire. You got to be smarter than that. Like, in the position you in, you can't have no missteps. You can't make no mistakes, man. You got to be smart, because that name on the back of your jersey, man, is pristine. You know what I'm saying? It's on a level, and you got to carry that with a leadership kind of mentality and not making no bad decisions. Like, that's a bad decision. You know, we done all did it. We done all speeded. We done all flew. We done all got a new vehicle. We trying to test it out. We flying on the highway. And some of us have been lucky, but some of us is like Ruggs. You know what I'm saying? The guy that's locked up for speeding for that, my bad, man, for this vehicle manslaughter he ended up having when he ran into this woman and she burned up in a car with her dog. So you got to just be smarter than that. Like you say, you got to be, if you're like the CEO of a company, man, and you got to be you're the face of the franchise if you end up being the #1 quarterback. So you want to put yourself in a predicament where they look at you like you're a mature individual, and going 101. I mean, that don't mean you're not mature, but the situation you in where they looking for any reason to not make you the quarterback or cut you or anything, you cannot give them dudes any kind of ammunition, you know what I'm saying, to use against you. And I kind of feel like that's what you did, because now when I hear everybody speaking about it, and I see Stephen A talking about it, he was like, man, we all speed, we all make that mistake, but he's going to be held to a different level, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're looking for anything to nitpick and try to tear him down. So don't give them the ammunition to do that, man. And that's you done gave them a little bit, because now on every show I watched this morning, they speaking on it, you know what I'm saying, talking about you getting pulled over going that fast. And is that the reason you dropped in the draft? Like, some things you do, and like, I don't know why they trying to correlate them things together, but they trying to throw them together, and they gonna use them against you, Shedeur. So you got to get out there and stay squeaky clean, man, and live your life, and don't let nobody derail what you're trying to do in your life. You know what I'm saying? I know you raised better than that. I know you smarter than that. I know you're a leader, and I know Dion call you grown. He said you're the one, the one child who acts more mature than anybody else. And that move going 101 miles per hour wasn't a mature move. Even though it's not a big thing, I done did it before. I know everybody that's probably speaking on them, and everybody that's seeing what happened probably done did it before. But the thing about it is, the people that done did it before is not trying to be the Browns starting quarterback and trying to play in the NFL and trying to crawl out of the ditch they trying to put you in, trying to say you're not this and you're not that. That what made you go in the 5th round. So you got to be smarter than that. And that's my only, that's what I got to say about it. You know what I'm saying? I just think that was a bad decision. And I think at his age, you're going to make them kind of decisions. And he shouldn't be judged on that. You know what I'm saying? You don't never get judged on your weakest moment. And that shouldn't even be if his name wasn't Shedeur Sanders, this wouldn't even be no conversation right now. Because, Ben Roethlisberger, I can never say his name. He ended up getting onto a crash on a motorcycle. You know, it's a lot of guys like that been through these situations, but he's going to be held to a different standard. And he needs to be smart enough to know that standard he's going to be held to. And the name he got on the back of his jersey, he needs to hold that up. Because how people respect his dad, you know what I'm saying, they hold it against him. So he got to be smarter than that. So that's my take on it. That's how I feel about it. I did a Shedeur video yesterday, but I just wanted to speak on this, because I don't just want to speak on the positive. If you do something negative, I'm going to have to speak on that too. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I go. You know what I'm saying? But Tell me how y'all feel about it. Do y'all think he's just a kid? And he's not really a kid, you know, he's a grown, he's a young man, but he's still a grown up. But do you think it's just a bad decision, you know what I'm saying? But do you think, what do you think the Browns, how you think the Browns gonna look at it? Do you think he will get cut? Because I don't think there's no chance that he'll get cut. How his jerseys are going crazy. And I think any other team would pick him up with the swift, like quick. If the Browns were to cut Shedeur, swift, they would pick him up quick, man. But that's how I feel about it, man. Like, comment, subscribe on my video, and tell me how you feel about it. You might feel a little different about it. You might have somebody that's been affected by somebody speeding and end up getting into a wreck with somebody. So your opinion is going to be different than a person like mine, who I'm just looking at it as, he just speeding. He's just a young cat. He just got a new car. He just testing out the motor. That's how I look at it. But him being the guy he is, he going to have to be more aware of what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? But like, comment, subscribe on my video, and I'm out.